I'm Dennis with TeraFlex. We're here at the 2010 Sema show in Las Vegas, Nevada. Best of the best are represented here. Let's take a look at just a few of the Jeeps that have chosen TeraFlex as their suspension.
We've come up with a nickname of Jeepzilla. We wanted to be different. We wanted to make every piece of the Jeep over the top.
Jeep Wrangler has won for the best 4x4 of the year. They went throughout the whole show and they picked out 3 Jeeps that would best represent Wrangler. The centerpiece is Dave Deutsch's Bad to the Bone JK. So why did you pick TeraFlex as a suspension company?
Well, I did a lot of research. I probably spent 4 to 5 months before I actually made my buying decision. A lift kit's not just a lift kit. You really have to buy a suspension system. Everything needs to work together to really give you a package, so when you're out there off-roading, you don't have to worry about breaking down. Going with a lift this tall, this large, you need to be able to move that axle however you see fit to be able to clear the type of suspension cycling that you want. And having those adjustable control arms on a lift kit this large is definitely an advantage when you're off-roading. The total lift is about 8.5 inches. We started with a TeraFlex long arm suspension system, and then we added a 2.5-inch budget boost on top of that. So we're at about 8.5 inches total lift. The factory bump stops, well, first of all, are too short. They're too small for a suspension lift this size. So we went with a TeraFlex speed bump to be able to absorb that shock. We went with a 20x12 fuel off-road octane wheel. We also went with a high fender flare, Bushwhackers flat top flares. We did a double stitching in green, and then we did the green headrest logos. To accent the interior, we did a rock hard 4x4 cage that we also color matched to Synergy green.
The whole package is really impressive, and I can see why it was selected. How do you take one of the most ubiquitous vehicles at the Sema show and turn it into a complete showstopper? There's only one way. You take it to Camp Crocker at Cop 4x4 and let him work his magic on it.
Basically, we've taken a 4-door JK, we've done a 16-gauge all-steel bed, we've extended it 1 foot, so I've got a true 5-foot 10-inch bed, bigger than a brand new Tundra. A beautiful TeraFlex lift, we've got coilover suspension at all 4 corners, 5.7-liter 2011 VVT motor in it, pushing out about 400 horsepower, brand new. And the most beautiful dash you've ever seen. First time we've ever done an all-leather dash. We replaced the entire stereo with an iPad. All the way across the back, we've got the racing seats in here. 42-inch brand new Kevlar Goodyear tires, and then my Hemi hood, which I've been doing. I usually save those just for my rigs and I get a lot of requests for the Hemi hoods. When I have these huge, 400 to 650 horsepower motors, I use only a TeraFlex weld-in lift kit because we're putting so much torque on the rear end of these cars. These cars run at 100 miles an hour, straight as an arrow, and my customers demand that. I haven't found a lift kit yet that works as good as y'all's.
When you get a JK, first thing somebody does is put on bigger wheels and tires, right? That brings about 2 problems, and we decided to try and solve both those problems. The first problem is coverage. To be legal, you got to cover those big wheels and tires. So we've come up with some extended coverage flares. One of the other problems that you get is power. So what we've done is we've cooperated with SCS, who has a patent on remote mount turbos. They've got thousands of installs with Corvettes, Mustangs, 350Zs, a lot of experience on turbos. And we work with Rick over there to design a system for the JK. We put the system on and done some development work, and we got an extra 100 horsepower at the wheels. A couple of things that are important to us is not just off-road, but on-road drivability. Very important that we have a Jeep that handles really well on-road, but can also handle the rough stuff. Especially as we're looking at turbocharging and extra power. We're going to be doing some more high-speed stuff, and TeraFlex has these speed bumps and Fox shocks and a lot of their higher speed stuff that seems to match the goals we have with making the Jeeps more powerful.
This is a beautiful day out here in Las Vegas at the Sema show. I'm Dan Mick of Dan Mick's Guided Jeep Tours. We do guided tours in Moab, Utah, 365 days out of the year. This is a Jeep that we built for that. It's a 2008 Jeep JK Rubicon. We've replaced the engine with a Hemi 5.7. We've got an Atlas transfer case, Tomwood drive shafts, and then we get down into the good stuff. We got TeraFlex axles, front and rear, all the TeraFlex suspension underneath there, the LCG kit. Down the highway at 75, 80 miles an hour, not a problem. Total package works great. This is the way you'd build a vehicle if you were going to come to Moab. This is what you want to have, folks.
right, we're here at the Bushwhacker booth with Dan McKeague from Burnsville Off-Road.
Well, we got a Mango Tango 4-door Unlimited. The 2011s are a really nice Jeep. This one has a 2011 Grand Cherokee 5.7 VVT motor. As always, we're using TeraFlex suspension. This one has the long arm with Fox shocks on it, the 4-inch lift. We love it.